You're watching WYLN TV 35. Now, from the area's leader in live local news, this is WYLN News, the area's #1 source of live local news and information in Luzerne, Schuylkill, Carbon, and Columbia counties. WYLN News starts now.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us on WYLN News. I'm Julia Wiegand. A father and daughter duo survived a plane crash Sunday night in Luzerne County. State police say that the plane took off from the Wilkes-Barre-Scranton International Airport Sunday evening and crashed into a wooded area in Bear Creek Township. According to the FAA, the plane disappeared from radar, and the U.S. Air Force was called in to help with the search. The 58-year-old father and his daughter were found by state troopers thanks to a ping from the daughter's iPad and taken to an area hospital. There's no word at this time on their identities as authorities continue to investigate that plane crash in Luzerne County. A Hazleton man was sentenced on an indecent assault charge Friday. 57-year-old William Andrazi was arrested by Hazleton police back in April of 2020 for allegedly sexually assaulting a 17-year-old girl inside of a Carson Street home. He was initially charged with rape, sexual assault, indecent assault, and corruption of minors. However, he entered a guilty plea in June, where most of the felony charges were withdrawn, and the rape count was modified to indecent assault. He was sentenced to serve 21 months to 8 years in state prison and will be mandated to register as a sex offender once he's served his sentence. A Clinton County woman who was arrested in connection with the death of her 9-year-old nephew has died. Jamie Lynn Jackson was charged with criminal homicide back in December of 2020 for the death of Anson Stover. An autopsy on Stover revealed that the boy had extensive physical injuries consistent with repeated physical abuse. According to police, Jackson was taken to the Lock Haven Hospital during a medical emergency, where she was later pronounced dead. A Luzerne County man was arrested for allegedly sexually assaulting 2 young girls over the course of several years. 36-year-old Carlos Hazard of Warrior Run's facing numerous charges after the victims were recently interviewed by investigators. The first victim said he pressured her into performing sex acts with him before she was even a teenager and continued to abuse her for about 7 years. The second victim also said that Hazard sexually assaulted her over a 7-year period. He was charged with rape, involuntary deviant sexual intercourse with a child, statutory sexual assault, indecent assault, and several other related charges. He was arraigned Friday and denied bail after the judge considered him to be a danger to society. Demolition has begun on a building that formerly housed the Hazleton General Hospital School of Nursing in order to make way for a state-of-the-art cancer center. The Cancer Center is coming to Lehigh Valley Hospital Hazleton on Broad Street and will be part of the Topper Cancer Center. The new facility will have 3 floors and include physician practices, an infusion center, and radiation oncology services. President of LVHN's Northeast Region, Terrence Purcell, said the need is very clear, and this expansion will allow patients to receive many of their treatments in a centralized location. The new state-of-the-art center is expected to open in 2023. In the meantime, visit lvhn.org/cancer to learn more. Numerous municipalities filed a lawsuit in Commonwealth Court in an attempt to block PennDOT's proposed bridge tolling plans. PennDOT previously announced it would consider setting up tolls on 9 bridges across the state as a means to fund bridge replacement projects, including 2 in the Hazleton area. The suit was filed by officials from South Fayette, Bridgeville, and Collier. It claims that the state didn't allow the Public-Private Partnership Board's procedure, which requires the board to approve specific projects after their impact's been reviewed with local residents. The suit also alleges that allowing PennDOT to consider adding tolls to bridges should have required approval by the General Assembly. The annual American Cancer Society Telethon raised over $70,000 this past weekend for the fight against cancer. But in case you missed it, our Julie Stefanovich has the highlights.
The 43rd Annual American Cancer Society Telethon is now in the books. 43, Beating Cancer Takes You and Me, brought in a total of $76,568 during the 2-day telethon. It was broadcast live on Saturday and Sunday from both the Wiltsey Center and the Wyln studios. The telethon featured live performances, survivor interviews, and the phone bank where volunteers took in pledges throughout the weekend.
I've been volunteering with American Cancer Society for probably over 20 years. I started just somebody said, hey, are you interested in volunteering? And that was just a couple hours. And now I'm here from start to finish. And I do it now because I feel like cancer has touched everybody's life somehow.
Decades ago, there was a stigma about having cancer and mortality rates were higher. But fast forward to 2021, where medical advancements have been made and survivors are seeing more and more birthdays.
It has come so far. The advancements in treatments are amazing. The survivorship is growing. And, it's just really good.
Early detection is key in the fight against cancer.
And we just want to remind everyone to please get out there and get screened. We can save so many lives just by getting screened early. We can catch that cancer and we can get rid of it if we just catch it early enough.
ACS Telethon co-chair Jane Doherty explains where the money raised during the telethon goes to.
ACS supports cancer patient services in many ways. There's a wonderful website, cancer.org, that is open 24/7 with a live chat feature. We have a Reach to Recovery mobile app for breast cancer survivors that is brand new. We support Hope Lodge in Philadelphia, where cancer patients and their families can stay free during cancer treatments. And we support research. ACS has funded 49 Nobel Prize winners.
The telethon also advocates education.
We do everything from children's art for second graders to interviews with researchers and doctors that you've been seeing throughout the telethon.
Longtime ACS co-chair Clemmy Yamona thanks everyone who has supported the telethon over the last 4 decades.
We are going to beat it, and you people are helping to make it. Over the years, you've been fantastic, and it just seems like we have conquered cancer in many phases, but we haven't done enough to do the job, to eliminate it completely in our lifetime.
Doherty hopes that one day cancer will be a thing of the past.
I'm very proud to have been a part of the telethon for many years. It's like a big family here. We all support each other. We've all been touched by cancer in one way or another, and it's important that we continue the fight so that we can tell kids in the future, oh, there was this strange thing called cancer, but thank goodness it's not around anymore.
If you didn't have the opportunity to donate over the weekend, you can still do so by visiting acsmove.org/Hazelton Telethon, or you can call 570-459-1212. In Hazel Township for Wyln News, I'm Julie Stefanovich.
Thank you, Julie, and congratulations to the American Cancer Society for this year. Coming up on Wyln News, more on Biden's $1.2 trillion infrastructure bill, plus details on an upcoming holiday event in Schuylkill County. But first, we'll take a look at our 5-day forecast brought to you by the Wyln Weather Kids. We'll be right back.
My name's Jackson. It looks like it's sunny tomorrow.
We want your child to be our WYLN Weather Kid. Your child can be our feature weather reporter of the day on Wyln News and Wyln social media posts just by using your smartphone or any video recording device. It's easy. All ages are welcome, from toddlers to teens. To find out how, go to the weather section of WYLNTV.com or look for our post about it on the Wyln News Facebook page. Submit your Weather Kid video today.
Membership opportunities are now available at the Valley Country Club, 79 Country Club Lane in Sugarloaf. Clubhouse upgrades are in progress and will be ready for the spring. Call Frank Radis for details at 570-233-5328.
Sacco Chiropractic, East Broad Street in Hazleton has the health care you've been waiting for. Whether it's a chronic issue or something new, Sacco Chiropractic has the most up-to-date techniques and therapies to help with any ailment. From his days of playing football with the Cougars and then in college, Dr. Scott Sacco has an elite understanding of sports injuries and how to correct them. Whether you are an athlete, a weekend warrior, or a grandmother, we can help with multiple issues. Call today to see why relief is super. Man, 570-497-4150.
If you're looking for an affordable pre-owned car or truck, Chura's Auto Sales has a great lineup of clean, dependable, and quality vehicles. Stop in 610 North Broad Street, West Hazleton, 570-454-7229.
Tickets are now on sale for the annual Sounds of the Season concert at the Alice C. Wiltsey Performing Arts Center in Hazleton. Ring in the holidays with performances by the Hazleton Philharmonic Orchestra under the direction of Robert Lagana, Fabergé Follies, and the Hazleton Area High School Cougar Crooners. General admission tickets are just $10. Sounds of the Season, December 11th, is sponsored by these local businesses.
President Joe Biden signed his $1.2 trillion infrastructure package into law this afternoon. The bill, which is an essential part of Biden's economic agenda, will be the largest investment into the nation's roads and bridges in decades. The bill highlights over $500 billion in new spending that'll be invested into core infrastructure projects over the next 8 years. This includes $312 billion in transportation, as well as $266 billion in water, broadband internet, the power grid, and environmental remediation. The White House billed the measure as a once-in-a-generation investment and projected it to create 2 million new jobs. Fork Over Love won a $25,000 Millennium Circle grant from the Luzerne Foundation Wednesday. Fork Over Love requested the grant to set up 5 franchises in the areas with the highest poverty rates in Luzerne County. The nonprofit purchases hot, chef-made meals from local restaurants and distributes the meals for free throughout the community. Fork Over Love founder and chair Tracy Salingo said the money will help them continue their mission to nourish the community by strengthening the small independent restaurants they pay to provide hot, nutritious takeout meals that they then distribute for free. Explore Schuylkill partnered with Pioneer Evergreen Farms to kick off the holiday season with a cozy outdoor event. Visit Pioneer Evergreen Farms for a holiday celebration on Saturday, November 27th from 11 to 4 p.m. Santa will be on hand to visit with children who will each get a free cookie and hot cocoa. There will be cozy gas fireplaces, s'mores packets, and an opportunity to sample and purchase the finest wines and ciders with Cellar Beast Winehouse. The M&J Jazz Trio will perform from 11 to 1. The Schuylkill Chorale Society will be caroling from 1 to 3, and Running Springs Farm will be around giving horse-drawn carriage rides. Visit Schuylkill.org or their Facebook page for more, and take advantage of an Explore Schuylkill holiday with Pioneer Evergreen Farms. Coming up on Nanticoke's News Choice, we bring back the Trans-Siberian Orchestra and Community in You. Plus, who's leading the way again this week? Stay with us and find out.
You know, Blaze Alexander, we understand that individuals win trophies, but teams win championships. From sales
to service.
From maintenance
to major service.
From Mazda to Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram to Buick GMC. Good credit or bad, we got your back. So like I said, it takes a team. If you're in the market for a car, stop to the Great Alexander team at Blaze Alexander, Greater Hazleton, and we're taking the deals. The other guys won't.
No matter how busy life gets, your health needs to come first. That's why the relationship you build with your Lehigh Valley Health Network primary care doctor is one of the most important you'll ever have. From identifying your personal health risk factors to coordinating care with specialists, LVHN is here to partner with you every step of the way. And with the choice of virtual or in-person visits, it's never been easier to put your health at the top of your to-do list. Take the first step by visiting lvhn.org or by calling 888-402-LVHN.
Hi, I'm Marty Burns, host of Sports Talk, your weekly source for Hazleton Area High School football. Join us every week as I'll be joined by head coach Dennis Bookman as we go over past Hazleton area opponents, we'll look ahead to a future opponent, and have a guest from the Cougar football program. That's all this season on Sports Talk, brought to you by the Lehigh Valley Health Network Hazleton, your orthopedics and sports medicine partner.
Grand Central, our family has been supplying your family with quality brand name furniture, mattresses, and appliances for over 3 generations. Whether you choose from our excellent selection of Lazy Boy, Catnapper, or England furniture, or from our fantastic selection of Sealy and Stearns & Foster mattresses, we guarantee total comfort in every room of your home.
With expert advice,
everyday low prices,
plus interest-free financing for up to 60 months.
From our family to your family.
Grand Central in Hazleton. Everything to make your house a home.
Come shoot at Whitetail Preserve, 118 Boulevard Road in Bloomsburg. Their skeet, trap, and sporting clay fields are professionally designed, and all stations are handicapped accessible. Whitetail Preserve has resident shooting instructors certified by the NRA in shotgun, rifle, pistol, home safety, and personal protection in the home. Whitetail can also cater any size event, whether it be a private party, corporate event, or wedding. Call 570-384-2314 or 570-790-8969. WYLN programming is online all the time. Visit our website at WYLNTV.com to check out archive shows and a live stream of our broadcasts. And don't forget to visit all of our social media pages for breaking news, weather, and sports. You can also head directly to our YouTube page for all our programming at youtube.com/WYLNTV35. Subscribe and ring that bell so you get notified every time there's a new show available online.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Community and You here on WYLN. I'm Philip Kaufman, and we are joined by the Trans-Siberian Orchestra, 2 members of the Trans-Siberian Orchestra, Al Petrelli, who's the musical director and writer, and Kayla Reeves, who's a vocalist for the Trans-Siberian Orchestra. They are a multi-platinum progressive rock group, and they have announced their winter tour, which would be back for 2021. They're going to be in the area, and we're just going to start off. Al or Kayla, could you tell us, when will Christmas Eve and Other Stories tour begin, and when will you be performing up here at the Mohegan Sun Arena?
Well, first of all, thank you for having us back. We're so excited to be talking about going to work as opposed to canceling the tour last year. So this is really emotional and fun for us to talk about something positive. The tour kicks off November the 17th, and if I'm not mistaken, we're going to be in the Mohegan Sun, I think November the 21st, and Allentown, I think, is on the 19th.
What's different about the Trans-Siberian Orchestra show compared to your average rock show?
Everything. Yeah. There's so many different elements in a Trans-Siberian Orchestra show, musically, production-wise.
Look.
What goes on the stage, underneath the stage, behind the stage, there's a lot that goes into it. And it's the biggest show on the planet. So we're excited. I think that's what makes us different.
Yeah, not only that, again, going back to the fact that we had to cancel last year's tour. You know, we love doing this more than anything. It's become our tradition. I know a lot of folks in your community, you've made it part of your holiday tradition. So when you love something so dearly and it's taken away from you, when you finally have it back in your hands, you're going to cherish it and you're going to love it that much more. So aside from all the production and everything else, we're just so excited to get back to doing what we love so much. And when you wrap around the fact that it's also our 25th anniversary, since Paul wrote Christmas Eve and Other Stories, it's going to be just the most emotional tour we've ever done because, again, we just miss it so much and we miss all the folks in your community.
Well, we're looking forward to it. As a kid who grew up with Led Zeppelin in middle school and then also went to the orchestra in Philadelphia all the time, I'm looking forward to seeing you guys. Mm-hmm. Can you give our viewers a sneak peek at what they'll be seeing this year at the show?
Nope. Mm-mm.
We're going to be just as surprised as you guys when we step foot into Omaha and we lay our eyes on the production for the first time in about 5 weeks. So it's coming up.
Yeah. Listen, our crew has been unemployed just like the rest of us, so I'm pretty positive they've been home, on their laptops, just coming up with crazy ideas. For the folks that have seen us in the past, we affectionately refer to them as our repeat offenders. They know that every year the show is different. At the center of it will be their tradition, Christmas Eve and Other Stories. But the front of the show is always different musically and visually, and the back half of the show is always different. So, like Kayla said, we don't really get to see production until we get to production rehearsals in a couple weeks. But historically, it's been insane. Again, looking between us, that's just part of what we did a couple years back. So, we can't wait.
And there's a charitable fund going on. Can you tell us about the money being raised for charity?
Absolutely. Well, it all started with Paul O'Neill and the O'Neill family 25 years ago. They really had the intention to make a difference, and $1 from each ticket sold goes to a different local charity in every city that we come to. And so the idea is that when you come to see us, it's the community giving back to itself. And that's the idea Paul had. And I think that he's really made a difference in a lot of communities, and we're going to continue.
And I believe I could speak for myself about what TSO does and how it resonates with me, but can you tell us, just from your general experience, how it resonates with your audience and everyone?
What I've discovered over the past couple of years, looking out into the audience and watching the folks out there, their expressions change during the show, I realize that they not only understand Paul and Neil's story, but they've made it their own. Everybody, especially around Christmas time, misses somebody, right? There's always an empty chair at the dining room table, and considering what we've all been through last year, unfortunately, there's a lot more empty chairs at everybody's table. I think that people miss a loved one for whatever the reason, and they kind of feel alone in that until they come to a show and experience what we put together for them. And when they understand Paul's story, they realize that they're not alone in their sadness. Everybody in that arena misses somebody. Not that that takes your individual pain away or makes it any more palatable, but I think they find some sort of solace knowing that we're kind of all in this boat together, and it's okay to express those emotions. You know, I recorded these songs literally 25 or 26 years ago, and they mean more to me now than they even did back then. And I think everybody in the audience shares that same thought.
Absolutely. And so for these audience members coming back out, they're going to be at the arena, they're going to be coming. Can you tell us how they're going to find the ticket and find out information about when you guys will be around?
Just go to www.trans-siberian.com. Everything you want to know about the band, tickets, everything, merch, you can find it there.
All right. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you for being on the show. Thank you for talking with us. I look forward to seeing you guys up here at the Mohegan Sun, and I hope I get the chance to get backstage and interview you guys again.
All right, well, brothers, stay safe, and thanks for having us.
Thank you, and thank you, folks, for joining us here on Community and You on WYLN.
Your health has never been more important. That's why Lehigh Valley Health Network is making it easier than ever to take control with MyLVHN, your digital health partner. MyLVHN allows you to schedule appointments right from the palm of your hand, message your doctor questions, and even see an LVHN provider from the comfort of your home through video visits. With MyLVHN, you have on-demand access to your health anytime, anywhere. To learn more or to sign up, visit lvhn.org/mylvhn.
M&J Excavation, serving the area with quality and dependable home heating oil with competitive pricing. Also on and off-road oil delivery for your heavy equipment. They also provide paving and excavation services. 570-233-1898.
When you see news happening in your neighborhood, call WYLN News at 570-459-1869 or email us at news@WYLNTV.com or send us a message on social media through Facebook. WYLN, we're your local network.
PPW Nation, get ready for the best of PPW Season 2. Join Paul Bowe, E. Julius Kuiper, Alexander Bravado, Tom Mitchell, and Alex Watt as we take you down memory lane and relive some of the best PPW matches of all time. Saturdays at 5 p.m., Sundays at 10 p.m., only on WYLN.
No matter how busy life gets, your health needs to come first. That's why the relationship you build with your Lehigh Valley Health Network primary care doctor is one of the most important you'll ever have. From identifying your personal health risk factors to coordinating care with specialists, LVHN is here to partner with you every step of the way. And with the choice of virtual or in-person visits, it's never been easier to put your health at the top of your to-do list. Take the first step by visiting lvhn.org or by calling 888-402-LVHN.
WYLN CA35's children's programming is designed with the specific purpose of serving the educational and informational needs of children. In compliance with FCC guidelines, a copy of the Children's Programming Report is on file for public inspection at WYLN 1057 East 10th Street in Hazleton, Pennsylvania during normal business hours. To view the report online, visit fcc.org.
WYLN's going behind the scenes to learn more about the lives and goals of our local leaders. So, Eileen Perchak's leading the way again to kick off this week's series.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Leading the Way, where we explore the backstories of those paving NEPA towards a better future. This week, we're joined by Eileen Perchak, who is the Executive Director for Supporting Autism in Families Everywhere, otherwise known as SAFE. Welcome.
Thanks for having us.
So, why don't we start off this week? Let's talk about the beginning. Tell us about being a kid, growing up, and then what led you, the schools and everything that led you to where you are now.
Whew, that's a great story. I don't know, some of it I'll omit because, a little bit of a misspent childhood. I grew up in the Pocono Lake area, Arrowhead Lake. I am a graduate of Pocono Mountain High School. I was going to go to school in Colorado, and I chickened out about 2 months before I left. So I wound up at Keystone College. Went to Keystone. After Keystone, I went to Shippensburg. I was a business major. My goal as a child was to be a funeral director. But as I was growing up, the business world looked, beautiful and glamorous because my father was a salesman and he took people out to dinner and wined and dined them, and that looked pretty glamorous then, I wound up being a business major. I worked for R.J. Reynolds Tobacco for many years. Then when I met my husband and got married, I resigned to raise my family. I have 2 children. I have a son, Michael, who is on the autism spectrum, and he is 24, and I have a daughter, Madison, who is neurotypical, and she is 21.
Where did it go from, you start your family and then you get to SAFE? And
well, they say life changes you, and you become, kind of what your children are doing, and, you kind of progress along with them. After Michael was born, I had no problems in my pregnancy, and he had a, so-called typical birth, and we didn't realize anything was kind of askew because I was a little bit older when I had Michael. So I just thought I had this really good baby, and, he would watch the same movie over and over, and so I got very active as the children got older. I was in the PTA and all of that, and we started to notice that Michael just wasn't progressing like the other children. He was academically, but socially he was not. So after his diagnosis, it was, all hands on deck. We didn't have any services here in Northeast PA at that point, so I had to travel to Hershey for services, and that is, essentially what led me to be so passionate about the autism community.
All right, folks. Check back tomorrow night as we continue into part 2 of this week's segment. Good night.
And that's the news. Remember, the source matters now more than ever. Catch all the latest on our Facebook page, YouTube page, or at WYLNTV.com. Stay with us. A look at today's weather is next, right here on WYLN TV.